Okay, so we all use smart assistants, right? Bots, AI tools.
Mm.
They handle so much for us now, from emails to, I don't know, managing complex logistics.
They're everywhere, indispensable almost.
But there's this huge billion-dollar roadblock. These AIs, when it comes to actual money, they're kind of blind.
Totally blind. They can't log into your PayPal, no way.
Right. Or type in a credit card number, deal with two-factor codes. The whole system is still built for, well, us, humans.
And that's the friction, isn't it? It's fundamentally holding back what we keep calling the AI economy.
Yeah, this promise of autonomous agents doing complex stuff.
But if that agent can't just instantly pay a tiny fee for, say, an API call or settle some data transaction on the fly,
The whole thing just
grinds to a halt, they literally get stuck at the login screen. It's kind of funny in a frustrating way.
Which is exactly why we're doing this deep dive today. We're focusing on the X402 protocol.
Ah, yes, X402.
Yeah.
Launched by Coinbase, what, early 2025?
That's the one. It's an emerging tech standard, and it's specifically designed to, well, solve this massive problem. Our mission today is to really show you how this protocol aims to unleash that next wave of digital commerce.
Turning payments into something. What was the quote?
As simple as swiping a Metro card.
Yeah.
That's what the source material claims.
Okay, so X402. Conceptually, it sounds pretty straightforward. A native payment tool built right into HTTP,
Yeah, the basic language of the internet.
making paying feel as automatic as just loading a web page.
Okay. But before we dive into the plumbing of how this decentralized automated money stuff works,
The crucial disclaimer, always.
absolutely. What we're talking about here is purely conceptual. It's for education, for information. This is definitely not investment advice
Yeah,
under any circumstance.
chat it, standard procedure. So where do we start?
Let's unpack the core idea first. Okay,
Yeah.
we've kind of set the stage on the need for this, right? AI agents need a way to pay.
Yeah.
But what is X402, functionally speaking?
Well, the materials say it lets basically anyone or anything like an AI agent pay directly using stablecoins.
Directly on web pages or through APIs.
Exactly. And that shift to stablecoins is pretty key.
Why stablecoins specifically?
Well, they give you that price stability you need for actual commerce, right?
Yeah.
Takes away the crazy volatility you get with other crypto assets,
Mm.
makes pricing reliable.
Okay, makes sense. And by embedding this payment function,
It gets rid of what the sources call the traditional hassle.
which means skipping registration, login steps, password stuff.
All of it. All those human-centric hoops you have to jump through. X402 aims to just bypass them entirely for the payment itself.
So the payment kind of happens outside the normal browser flow we're used to.
Sort of deeper down at the protocol level, and given it's backed by Coinbase.
You'd expect it to be universal, yeah. The material stresses it's cross-chain, works on Base, Solana, Polygon, lots of places.
It's positioned as infrastructure, not just some isolated app.
So why should people really care about this, beyond the tech heads?
Well, think about traditional payments. Credit cards, bank transfers. They're actually pretty slow and expensive when you look under the hood.
All those intermediaries, right?
Exactly. Each one takes a cut, adds delay. Now, for you buying a shirt online, maybe it's just annoying. A small percentage fee, a day or two delay.
Right.
But imagine an AI agent. It might need to make hundreds, maybe thousands of tiny micropayments per minute across different services, different APIs.
Ah, those tiny fees and delays suddenly add up.
They become crippling. Financially, operationally. It's just impossible with the current setup.
So is the research saying this kind of advanced AI economy literally cannot happen without something like X402?
Yeah.
Or just that it'll be, painfully slow and clunky?
More the latter, but with a real sense of urgency. The argument in the sources is pretty strong for AI to evolve from just a helpful tool into a truly autonomous economic player.
It needs its own payment rails,
Yeah.
autonomous ones.
Exactly. X402 embeds the payment right into, the fabric of the internet. It's less like an app you open to pay and more like a basic rule of how machines talk money.
That autonomy. That's the engine for this whole future market they're talking about.
That's the core pitch, yes.
All right, so this promise of zero friction, automated payment, it sounds almost too good to be true. Let's walk through how the research says this actually works, this four-step process.
Okay, yeah. The main players are pretty simple. You've got the client that could be you or your AI agent.
Okay.
Then the server, that's the website or API with the resource you want.
Got it.
Then there's this thing called the assistant. Think of it as the immediate go-between for the payment.
An assistant.
Yeah.
Okay, and the fourth piece.
And finally, the blockchain itself for the ultimate settlement.
Right. Okay, step one, the client asks for something, the server says, okay, but you gotta pay.
Standard stuff. But step 2 is where it gets different. The client's digital wallet automatically prepares the right amount of stablecoins.
Automatically. No clicking confirm.
Nope. It attaches those funds directly to the request and sends it back. Zero human interaction needed at that point for the payment action itself.
Wow, okay.
Step 3.
Verification. This is where the assistant comes in. The server uses the assistant to instantly check if the funds attached are real and if there's enough.
Instantly. Like how instantly?
We're talking milliseconds, essentially. It's happening off-chain initially for speed, and that leads right into step 4.
Which is?
Once the assistant gives a thumbs up, the server delivers the resource, the data, the service access, whatever, immediately.
Wait, hang on. Immediately. Before it hits the blockchain for final settlement?
That's what the process describes, yes.
Yeah.
The assistant only sends the transaction to the actual blockchain for that final immutable record after the resource has been delivered.
Okay, but isn't that risky? If the blockchain confirmation takes even a few seconds, couldn't an agent just grab the service and, I don't know, disappear before the payment actually finalizes on chain? Seems like a potential fraud loophole. That's a really good question, and it's definitely something the material has to address. The key role here is that assistant again.
Oh, so?
The assistant isn't just checking if the funds exist, it's verifying they are effectively locked by the wallet for this specific transaction request. Think of it like an escrow that's set up and confirmed instantly, off-chain.
Ah, so the funds are committed before the resource is released, even if the final blockchain step is technically slightly delayed.
Exactly. The verification is the crucial gate. Since the actual blockchain settlement is designed to be near instantaneous anyway with modern chains, and the payment is tied into the protocol layer itself, that window for fraud becomes vanishingly small. The verification is so fast, it simulates instant settlement for the user experience.
Okay. That makes more sense. This is like the vending machine analogy they used.
Right. You put the coin in.
The machine checks the coin. That's the assistant's verification.
Then the drink drops, the resource is released.
And only then do the internal gears move the coin to the cash box. That's the final blockchain settlement.
Precisely. The whole thing feels like seconds, totally friction-free, because the payment is embedded so deeply. It's moved from the application layer like logging into PayPal.
Down to the protocol layer, part of the internet's basic rules.
And that's what unlocks the speed. So summing up the core features they highlight: near instant settlement, works across different blockchains, super low fees, security built in, and the big one, true agent autonomy.
Okay, the mechanism sounds plausible, even pretty clever with that assistant role. But a protocol is only as good as the people actually using it, right?
Absolutely. Adoption is everything.
And the material paints this picture of a really rapidly growing ecosystem around X402. They're throwing around terms like trillion-dollar market potential. So let's look at who's actually building on this thing.
Yeah, it's useful to maybe think about the projects in layers. You need the basic payment rails, then something to manage all the agents, and then the actual services the agents are paying for.
Makes sense. Let's start with layer 1, the payment rails. The ones acting as the currency movers, the assistants.
Okay, prime example, there seems to be PAYAI. The sources describe it as a big B2B and B2C payment platform, but also an agent marketplace.
So it is one of these assistants.
Its main job, yeah, is acting as a primary assistant for these autonomous settlements. And they've apparently got some traction, 42,000 transactions processed, $5 million in seed funding already. They're that first point of contact between the agent's wallet and the server asking for money.
Okay, so the money can move. Now, layer 2, managing the agents. If you have potentially thousands of AIs interacting, you need traffic cops, right?
Huh. Yeah, exactly. Orchestration. That's where projects like Santa come in.
Santa.
Yeah. It's described as an on-chain coordination platform, a cluster of, I think, 13 specialized agents that work together on complex tasks, and they use X402 to pay each other or pay for external services.
That sounds complex. Any scale there?
Apparently, yeah. 10,000 X402 transactions processed through their system, $8 million in funding. They're even integrating with big players like Google's AP2 system, according to the material.
Wow. And is there infrastructure to help people build these orchestrated agent systems quickly?
Seems so. There's iEra mentioned. It offers agent orchestration as a service, basically a SaaS platform.
So developers can spin up new agents fast.
Exactly. And crucially, manage their cash flow automatically. The agents handle their own budgets using X402, no human intervention needed for the day-to-day spending.
Okay, that covers managing the agents. What about layer 3? The actual things being bought and sold, like paying to use an AI model or access some data.
Right, the service frameworks. DREAMS fits here. It's a protocol specifically for enabling cross-chain payments when one AI needs to call another AI model.
So like my agent on Base needs to use a fancy model running on Solana.
DREAMS would handle routing that X402 payment, and they've apparently seen huge volume, 1.3 million model calls facilitated. That's a lot of agent-to-agent commerce.
Definitely. And data. Accessing real-time data must be huge for AI.
Absolutely essential. That's where Gloria comes in. Focuses purely on the data economy.
Pay-per-use data.
Exactly. A data trading platform where agents can use X402 to buy precisely the slice of real-time data they need, right when they need it. They're even collaborating with big names like Anthropic.
Okay, so you've got payments, orchestration services. It does sound like a real ecosystem is forming. This must be generating a lot of buzz.
Oh, incredible buzz. And speculation, frankly. We saw that anecdote in the source material right after the protocol launched.
Oh, you mean the PNG thing?
Yeah, the PAYAI coin. Now, again, not investment advice, not an endorsement, nothing like that.
Definitely not.
But the material mentioned it purely to illustrate the intensity of market interest. This coin apparently jumped from like 4 million to 22 million market cap almost overnight.
Just because it was vaguely associated with the X402 launch.
That seems to be the implication. It shows the sheer amount of speculative capital that floods in when a potentially foundational protocol like X402 appears. Even things on the periphery get caught up.
Which underlines why the real infrastructure projects are seen as so crucial.
Exactly. Projects like hashtag Kite AI, they focus on agent identity, secure payment channels, the absolute bedrock plumbing, and they secured $18 million in Series A funding. That shows where the serious money thinks the value is, building the reliable pipes. And you also see things like MRDN, a coordinator supporting multiple chains, even offering cashback incentives. It's all part of building out that core infrastructure. Hashtag tag conclusion and final thought.
Okay, so let's pull this all together. We've talked about the problem, the proposed solution with X402, how it works, the ecosystem. What does this foundational shift really mean for you listening right now?
Well, if X402 actually delivers on its big promises, it looks like it could change how we interact with the internet economy on maybe 3 main levels.
Okay, level 1.
For everyday users like you and me, it could mean genuinely more convenient online payments. Imagine fewer logins, fewer registrations, less hassle when you hit a paywall or need a quick service. The payment just happens.
Sounds nice. Level 2.
For developers, the people building apps and services, it could make monetization way simpler. Integrating payments for API calls could become just a simple line of code. Much lower barrier to getting paid for digital stuff.
Okay, easier monetization. And the third level. This feels like the big one.
It is. For the whole emerging AI economy, this potentially provides the missing piece. True autonomous transactions. It shifts payments from being something a human has to being a seamless machine-to-machine function.
That's what could actually power that trillion-dollar potential everyone talks about with AI agents.
That seems to be the driving vision, yes. X402 aims to be the new default, the universal standard for internet payments, underpinning this whole decentralized, automated digital ecosystem. Hashtag tag outro.
A pretty ambitious vision.
It definitely is. And it leads to a pretty interesting final thought for you to chew on.
Okay.
If X402 or something like it really succeeds, if it turns the internet into this network where AI agents are handling tasks, negotiating deals, and making payments entirely on their own.
Initiating and settling financial stuff without us.
Exactly. What are the immediate regulatory hurdles? How do you even track or audit a transaction that was started and finished entirely by machines? Think about compliance, accountability.
Yeah, how quickly do our current ways of overseeing financial transactions become, well, obsolete, at least in these new automated spheres?
It's a big question. How much oversight is needed, and how do you even implement it when humans aren't directly in the loop for every single microtransaction? Something to think about.